Good day everyone. Herzlich willkommen. The good thing about the markets right now is that I've got enough content to just post every day. Right? There's so much going on. So let's just go through all these topics I'd like to discuss. It's not going to be a video of 1 hour. I'll be bored by then as well, especially about myself. But just make it a video of 15 minutes in which I'll just describe my view again and think about the market. First thing I'd like to discuss is still the coronavirus, through which people say that it's still a flu. And people think it's calming down, while we can see the effects in Italy, through which there's just a steady amount of people dying every day. Spain is even getting worse than Italy, as they are about a week behind. And then you've got a big group of countries coming up. Germany, France, USA, Switzerland, UK, Netherlands, Austria, Belgium, Norway, Portugal, Sweden, and then a dozen more countries, even multiple, coming by, in which they are just lagging behind. So if you think about the virus, then we are just getting started, especially if you figure out that Wuhan has been in a lockdown for 10 weeks and it's still being locked down for 2 weeks longer, and you don't want to see the new cases increase over there, because then the second wave is coming and there will be lockdowns some more. So you can just delete this whole year, I guess. We are locked down here in the Netherlands as well. Not a good day for us, but let's see. I hope the best for everyone. India announced that they will be in lockdown for 3 weeks, which means 1.3 billion people are in lockdown. Insane measures. I've also heard rumors about from people who live there, that they say that they are instructed to shoot on sight if someone walks outside. Well, I have to say that if they would introduce that measure in the Netherlands, then we finally would have no people around. I think it's one of the measures that will actually eventually help. Well, it's not not one of the best, I assume, but at least our stubborn Dutch people will then listen to the government, I'd say. But that's today. You can see on this website, worldometers.info, that we're just pacing up, and there is no real view in which we are slowing down in cases and in deaths. I mean, we're just getting the first wave, and I wouldn't be surprised if we hit the million mark in about 6 or 7 days from now. Then we've heard some news about the digital dollar, in which there was an additional update this morning that they wouldn't include the digital dollar in the stimulus package for now. But it's interesting that they are considering a blockchain solution for their dollars, through which they want to introduce the digital dollar and digital dollar wallets, which probably is going to be introduced because of the Libra thing we had a year ago. They just want to do it on their own, which is a good thing. However, if this is going to be introduced, they will be knowing more about you. Your privacy will be gone for even more, as they can just track all the things that you buy and where you get it from. Well, now you still have cash, so you would have to think about whether that's a good step. The next thing is that it's still dollars, and dollars have infinite QE. So the dollar, I assume, would be getting into high inflation in the next few years, which makes the dollar valueless, and makes me even more bullish about Bitcoin and commodities, not short term but long term. So it's still the dollar, doesn't change a damn thing. However, the awareness for blockchain increases through this if it gets introduced. So there are some good opportunities on it, and some good perspectives on it. If we go to the price movements today, I've discussed the potential relief rally on the stock markets, which we are seeing right now. The 18k barrier was a pretty crucial level for me to hold, as it's a yearly and a monthly level on the Dow Jones. We did hit it yesterday on the future market, pre-market, I guess. And after that, we've bounced up 15%. And not only the Dow Jones has seen a bounce upwards, also the German stock index is showing impressive strength of 18%. Which I believe is just a short-term bounce up, in which I'm not expecting the market to recover fully. Why would it? There's still much more pain to come from the coronavirus, apart from any economic impacts it will have. That's mostly lagging behind. So the actual economic impact you will see in a few months from now, for instance, the real estate market. But if you go back to in history, and you will see that markets reverse, and when markets reverse you will see some hiccups, which the market is showing here in 2008 as well. Small hiccups which are just relief bounces to trap everyone and to just be a technical bounce, test previous levels, reject, and continue the downwards move. 2000 showed one as well. And given that the market has dropped 40%, it's the average drop down of the first bubble drop usually, and then you will see a bounce upwards. For instance, the German stock index, if we reject at 10,400 in the next weeks, you could assume that we're going to drop further, and then we're in heavy problems. If you go back to the Nasdaq and you calculate the first drop on the .com bubble, you can also do it on the 9029 bubble pop or the Bitcoin bubble pop. You can see that it's... why did I delete that? 40% was the first drop. Probably it's less right now. It hit a lower level in the futures markets, but it's 40% as well. Looks like a blow off top, but at least some bounces are occurring here, which are heavily needed for the market. This one hit the 40% mark. So for the Dow Jones, the same principle applies. This is one of the levels that I'm watching. If it rejects, then we're in bad shape. The next one is the level around 22.5. Short term, some relief, but I don't think we're done with the drop downs. As you can see, we had some hiccups in 2008 as well before we just continued to fall down, which I assume is going to happen, especially given that the coronavirus is hitting the States pretty hard right now and will kick them even harder in the next few weeks. Then we're going towards Bitcoin. I have to use a different one. People were making fun of me today that I'm still bearish on the price while Bitcoin was moving up. That's fine. I'd like to see the break of 6869 pretty clearly. And I've been discussing the previous bottom formations we have seen earlier as well. We've had a huge drop down in November and to December 2019, after which we rejected the previous support here, and then we fell down back again. The actual same thing is going on right now. For instance, 6.9 used to be support, as you can see. It was support here, it was support here, it used to be support earlier on, it is support here, and it has been support a few times earlier on as well. But for the data you will need the level here. If the price rejects and closes beneath 6.9, it's just taking liquidity here and still remaining bearish, through which you can expect lower levels to be tested for support. Does that mean that we have to make new lows? No. Does that mean that we have to test 5.6, 5.2, 4.8? That could be. As you can see here, we had a nice run upwards too, after which we just grinded down and tested for support, made a bullish divergence, and then we reversed. So I'm gonna be bullish if we break above 6.9, break to 7.8, and then flip for support. If we do this to 7.3 on one day and just wick down the next day, it's not a flip, so then you won't be bullish at all. It's just a bearish rejection. And I'm not gonna be bullish into resistance. I just refuse to do that. So what I want to see is that we clearly break above, flip support, and then we can continue. That's a heavy measure to see. If we can't, then I'm still targeting 5.6 and I'm still targeting 4.8. This chart is providing the same. You've seen that there's bounces in bottom formation, but it's not a confirmation that there's a bottom. The volume is pretty much drying up now as well, so you could expect a pretty significant volume move to occur in the next few days. Whether it is because of the equity markets just retracing back again, whether it is because of a rejection on Bitcoin, who knows. Gold and silver also has seen a pretty strong bounce through the past few days, but given the whole economic impact of coronavirus and still the shockwave to come, I assume that we won't be seeing any bullish upwards momentum. Like, if people are losing their jobs, not knowing whether they can pay their mortgage or their rent or whatever, people will want to have cash. So the only reason why I would see Bitcoin going up is that there's an actual demand for Bitcoin apart from the dollar. But for now, the dollar is not collapsing, it's actually acting as a safe haven. So all the bounces upwards, I'm still assuming that they are bearish retests and just upwards relief rallies. The other opportunity is that, or the other variation on this is that the equity markets have to bottom out. But given that the coronavirus will be hanging around for some longer, having such a huge economic impact, I do not believe that we are bottoming out fairly soon. So from that, I'm just being cautious. You can just blame me for it, but I'm not bullish into resistance until we flip 6.9 for support. So what we're seeing here is probably a rising wedge pattern. We've seen that quite often. We can still see a liquidity tap above 6.9 with high volume and then a rejection. That's all in the books. If we drop down, I'm mostly targeting 5.4 for a bounce play towards 6.1 or so. But then you probably like to see something like this and then bottom out in the area here. That's sort of my idea right now. I can't make much about the PA right now here. The bias is the same. Below 6.8, 6.9 I'm bearish, above I'm bullish if we flip. Ether is being a pretty weak mover here. I wanted to see the flip at 2.2. We did bounce. Instant rejected at 2.5. And now we are retracing down, which makes me feel we are going to test the lower levels here. Might be seeing a bounce from the area in this zone before we continue to drop down. So I'll be watching 0019 for a quick bounce. But I would be looking for lows here. Testing the lows and just be cautious on the market in general. So that's my update for now. I'll be back tomorrow if I can, if there's something to state. I'll be having a video interview with Cointelegraph and Matti Greenspan tomorrow. Looking forward to that. And I just want to say thank you all for reacting to me on Twitter, for watching this video. I'm happy with all the feedback I'm getting and appreciate it a lot. And take care of each other. Stay safe inside. Don't do stupid shit. Thank you very much for watching.